Good day, folks, and welcome back to Ed's Garage at Merton Hyundai. Today we are looking at Hyundai's lowest priced Elantra. That is the Elantra Essential manual transmission. And what do you get in a base model of the Elantra? You're going to be quite surprised with all the features that you get in this beautiful vehicle, starting with the engine. Let's pop the hood and have a look under the hood. All right, so under the hood of the all-new 2021 Elantra, you have a multi-port injected Atkinson cycle 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Puts out 147 horsepower and 132 foot-pounds of torque. Now this one, of course, is mated to a manual transmission. Opt for a IVT on the higher trim or the higher priced automatic version for better fuel efficiency. This one gets 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers, which is definitely pretty good, but if you want that better fuel efficiency, you got to go to the IVT. Now, under the hood, a couple other things to note. So, we've got breakaway motor mounts, which means this engine will drop down in the event of a forward collision, making it a little bit safer. It is a top safety pick. Also, you can see quite a bit of the extensive usage of structural adhesive, which you see right there. See it right there as well. So structural adhesive is heavily used on the Elantra to the tune of something like 350 feet, which is generally about 10 times more than most other companies use. It increases those weld points substantially, making the vehicle more torsionally resistant, but also safer in a collision. So over the life of the vehicle, less creaks and squeaks, and in case of an accident, a little bit safer. This one also uses over 50% advanced high-strength steel construction, which is also good for, you know, obviously safety and torsional stiffness. Also under the hood, you can see, even in this base model vehicle, you get a insulated hood and also an insulated firewall. And lots of room around the outside of the engine to work in case you're getting service done on the vehicle, whether it's maintenance or repairs. So a very low cost of ownership. All right, now here in Canada, Hyundai, of course, has a 5-year, 100,000 kilometer comprehensive limited warranty, which means it's going to cover most of the components. So things like your power windows, your power locks, your power steering system, all of those things are still covered for 100,000 kilometers or 5 years. Coupled with that, a 5-year roadside assistance plan that's not kilometer dependent anywhere in North America. Pretty cool. Let's go over some of the features with this vehicle, starting at the front. Now, keeping in mind, this is the lowest priced Elantra you can buy. Check out this beautiful grille. They've got the grille that sort of integrates into the headlights. The headlights, speaking of which, are projection headlights. So it doesn't even have reflector headlights like most other car companies' base models. These are a projector light, which gives you a nice clean light throw and a solid line between where there is and isn't light. You've also got LED daytime running lights. And of course the curtain pass-through, the air curtain pass-through right here, which creates a curtain of air over the wheels to reduce the Venturi effect and give you a little bit better fuel efficiency. Speaking of the wheels, we have an aluminum alloy rim. Now these are 15-inch. Keep in mind this is the base model, but you know what? They're not hubcaps. They're not plastic. They're actual aluminum alloy rims. It's surrounded by hand-cut Kinergy tires, so actually a pretty good tire as well. All right, coming around to the trunk. Now you'll notice on the manual base model, there is no button to open up the trunk. However, there is a button on the key fob. So it's a remote keyless entry. It's got the switchblade key and it's got the button for the trunk. Now the trunk is actually huge. There's a lot of space in here. It's quite large, kind of tough to see right now just with the sun around everywhere and the trunk's kind of dark, but it is a very big trunk. Now it does have a folding back seat, but it's not a 60/40, okay? So that entire bench does come down. You need to pull both of these tabs to loosen it and then go around to the side to open it up. All right, so there's what it looks like with the rear bench folded down. Now the floor is a little bit lower than the actual seat back, but still very, very usable. Let's jump into the back seat, see how much space we got. All right, this is one area where the Elantra really shines. It's got a ton of headroom and a ton of legroom. Now I'm 6'2". I'm not long torso or long leg. I'm kind of 50-50. But as you can see, I've got plenty of room above my head, probably a good inch above my head. But also look at this legroom, guys. It's immense. I've got a ton of space. This seat is currently in my position where I would drive it. And I got like easily 3 or 4 inches in front of my knees. The floor is also really, really flat. I can actually raise the seat up if necessary as well, but I can slide my feet underneath the floor, and it's a very comfortable place to be. The back of the seat is also hard plastic, so if you do have kids back here that are kicking the seats, you're not going to feel it nearly as much, and that's actually on both sides, a nice hard plastic seat back. A lot of people, for some reason, seem to have an issue with the hard seat backs. I think it's a great, great option, especially if you've got kids sitting back here. It makes a lot of sense. Let's just talk about the design for 2 seconds. Now, designs and looks are, of course, subjective. I personally think that the new Elantra is a beautiful design. It looks fast just standing there. It's got this awesome sort of Z cutout in the doors. The tail lights look really cool. Check this out, with that bar that goes all the way across the back. Turn signals are yellow, the way they should be. It's a good looking vehicle. It's actually even got a little bit of a lip on the trunk, which is kind of nice. And the overall length is actually a little bit longer than the previous generation as well, which is why you could see definitely a little bit better legroom in the back. All right, let's check out the front seat, guys. We'll go over some features in there. And by the way, if you're wondering what color this is, it's called Cyber Gray. I don't believe it's available in the States, but it is up here and it's gorgeous. And sitting in the driver's seat, as you can see, tons of headroom. Right now, the seat is not even all the way down. So if I pump it all the way down, there we go. So that's all the way down. You can see just how much room there is. And of course, my legs right now are totally stretched out. There's a lot of room, and I can actually move the seat even further back to there. So look at that. I can like I can barely reach the pedals, and I'm 6'2". I can reach them just fine, but it's like I'm having to stretch my right leg out to put the gas all the way down. So you can see lots of legroom. These cars are great for taller people, and of course shorter people as well, considering it does have the seat height adjustment. All right, so let's start up the car and see what the dials look like. All right, so beautiful system here. It's actually a really stylish gauge cluster, and it does have the tachometer, which is good to see. Speedometer looks pretty cool. It's almost got like a sport text for the numbering. And on the right-hand side, you can see we've got a little screen there. So obviously the fuel economy is much better than that. It gets about 7.8 liters per 100K. But on that screen, you can see we've got trip A, trip B, fuel economy, digital speedometer, which we can quickly switch to miles per hour simply by holding the OK button on the steering wheel right there. And then we got a tire pressure monitor, and then our user settings where we can actually set things up like the one-touch turn signal. Now this one has currently set up to 3 flashes, so simply tapping the stock will allow the turn signal to flash a few times. We can actually change that to 5 or 7 as an example. We can change the illumination level in here as well. It's basically just your dimmer switch. There's other options there. You saw the headlight delay. That's for when you shut the car off. The headlights will stay on for a little while. And check this out. You could even change the theme selection. So if you'd prefer the screen look a little different, you can put it on theme A, B, or C. I like C personally. Now under the convenience section, you can see we have rear occupant alert, wiper and light display. So when you put on your wipers or whatnot, it's actually going to tell you what the setting is that you have them on, and the icy road warning. The rear occupant display is the rear occupant alert is pretty cool. If the rear doors were opened at any time, it'll actually give you an alert to check the rear seats if you forget to do so when you get out of your car. So pretty neat little feature there as well. Under sound, you can just enable the welcome sound. All right, now this interior is a little bit subjective. A lot of people don't like this. Honestly, you do get used to it, but the whole point is that it's designed to kind of wrap around the driver. It's very driver-centric, but you know what? It's quite comfortable. The seats have good support, even though the base model doesn't have lumbar support. The lower back on this seat is actually quite comfortable. The materials on the inside of the vehicle do get a little bit more premium the higher trim levels up, but I will say this is padded. Okay, so that's nice because that's where your elbow is going to be, and the armrest over here is padded. Now in the center console, there's a good amount of space. It's not huge, but it's not small by any means. And there's also a little storage location in front of the shifter down here. A great place to put your phone or maybe some change or whatever. And you notice we got a little button here. That's for the backup camera. We could turn the backup camera on at any time, just like that. Now this is a 6-speed manual, and I will say it's a really easy clutch. The clutch is very forgiving. If you're on a hill or whatever, you know, you roll back a little bit, you pull the clutch a bit too fast. Generally speaking, it's not going to stall. It's actually quite good at getting you going. So pretty good. All right, let's check out some of the features other than the button here, which we already mentioned. So you've got two USB ports here. So one is for charging a passenger's phone. The other is actually connected directly to the stereo. So that can be used for the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay if you want, if you have a phone that isn't capable of wireless, which I'll go over in a moment. You've also got a 12-volt port there as well. And along the bottom here, you got the buttons for your heated seats. So yes, a base model with heated seats. Not just a base model automatic, but even the base model manual gets heated seats. The manual trim does lose a few features though. It misses out on a couple of the safety features that you get in the automatic. But you know what? It's still very feature rich. You get AC. Moving up a little bit further, of course, you have this beautiful 8-inch screen. This is a non-polarized screen, so if you're wearing polarized sunglasses, you'll still be able to see what's on that screen. We don't use a polarized filter on our vehicles, which is really, really nice because a lot of companies still do. Anytime you're using a polarized pair of sunglasses, you wouldn't be able to see what's on the screen. Now, one of the things I really like about this stereo, it's got the little star button here, which you can customize to do a bunch of different things. I usually set it up for phone projection, so Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but you can see you can choose one of these other settings that it'll go to as well. Now, the screen itself is actually very responsive. Everything is very easy to see and easy to touch. You got a user manual access that you can quickly scan the QR code for. You can go straight to your phone menu here. You can see you got the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto buttons. It's all very simple to use. Even the stereo, for instance, if you want to set a preset, like if you like this 104.3, you just hit the star, boom, there's a preset. All of your presets, whether they're AM or FM, show up on the left-hand side of the screen, and it's even got HD radio access information, which is a nice touch. Now, the backup camera, I want to show you something really cool. When we put the vehicle into reverse, obviously the backup camera does come up, and you got those really nice dynamic steering lines. Keep in mind, guys, remember, this is a base model, but look how clear that image is. I know it's probably not coming up as well on camera as it is in real life, but man, it is a clear screen. And here's what's really cool. You can even do this. Check it out. Boom. On a base model, you can actually switch to trailer access mode, and you can still see the bumper along the bottom here. Now, you're not going to be pulling anything with this vehicle, but if you're wanting to get really close to a vehicle behind you, sometimes it's ideal to have that particular view. Now, big news for 2021, sorry, for the Elantra was that this vehicle would come with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. How cool is that? So use Wi-Fi for phone projection. So in this base model vehicle, currently the only the only compact sedan that you can get wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. There are a couple of other companies that are starting to introduce that now, but Hyundai did it first, both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. One other company beat us to the wireless Apple CarPlay, I think, but they didn't have wireless Android Auto, or vice versa. But pretty cool, so that's a nice touch. All right, having a look at the steering wheel, you can see we've got the voice recognition for Google Assistant and Siri. Volume, answer, hang up, mode switches between AM and FM, or Bluetooth audio, and then you've got the preset selection right here. You can go up and down through the presets. On this side here, these three buttons are all related to the cruise control. Yes, that's right, this manual transmission base model Elantra has cruise control, so another nice feature to add on. All right. It's also got new stocks for 2021 as well, so beautiful turn signal stock and wiper stock. And you'll notice on the turn signal stock, it's also for the headlights, it does have automatic headlights. Now, in this setting here, the headlights will also come on automatically and shut off automatically when you turn the car off and lock the doors. So, great package, great price, great warranty. Honestly, guys, this is a spectacular first-time vehicle for somebody, and it's not really missing a lot. It's actually got a lot of features. 20 years ago, this would have been a luxury car. Keep that in mind. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't hesitate to hit like and subscribe. And the most important one, hit the bell icon so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.